another interview with one of my amazing clients. Today, I'm going to be talking to Cori Perez. She's a real estate coach. If you're brand new to this community, allow me to welcome you. I'm Brittany Budd. I'm the creator and facilitator, and I help online entrepreneurs just like you to build and scale your business to six figures and beyond using organic social media marketing strategies. Cori, what's up, girl?
I am just so excited to be here. I love it.
Wild. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
All right. Well, everyone, as Brittany said, I'm Cori Perez, and I'm a real estate broker. I have my own real estate office, and I have agents who work for me, as well as I am also a real estate coach, and I help real estate agents really build their business from nothing to, having hundreds of leads and just, I guess, making it a business really.
Yeah.
So,
How did you get into real estate coaching? How did that shift come about from being a broker? You've been a broker for like 18 years now, right?
yeah, 19 years.
19 years.
Yep.
So, what made you shift?
You know, about 3 years ago, I started thinking, well, I was going through a different coaching program, and they were like, "Oh, Cori, I was just trying to figure out how to build my real estate business." And they were like, "You should coach other real estate agents." And I was like, never thought of that before. Don't know what that would look like. And so I spent a little bit of time trying to figure it out, and then I took a break. Like, big things happened in my life. I took a break. COVID hit, and it was just timing, the perfect timing. All I saw on Facebook were these agents who were struggling, who didn't know what to do now that, they couldn't go out and be around people. They didn't know how to attract leads to them. They didn't know what to do. And it broke my heart, honestly, because there's a stat in real estate that says that 87% of new agents fail in their first 2 years. And I was just like, exactly, like your face right now, exactly. It's horrible. And so it really hit me when COVID hit. It was just like, okay, these people they can't keep struggling like this. They have to have someone show them that this is possible to do without being in person and meeting people all the time and all this stuff. And so it just, it was like one day it kind of hit me, and it was just like, okay, Cori, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And so I just felt very much like it was something I had to do. I had to help people. I had to help these agents. There was just, I couldn't I couldn't sit back and watch them suffer.
Yeah. Wow. That's
That
so
means
insane. That
yes.
statistic, 87% fail in the first 2 years. That's not a lot of time to to fail, right? Like 2 years and you think you're gonna do something and then boom, it's over for you. And
Exactly.
so COVID hits and you are kind of famous at this point for your 5 day challenge, which why don't you explain your 5 day challenge with everybody so they kind of understand how am I supposed to have a real estate business, which is an in-person business online?
Well, okay, so my 5-day challenge, I started in going through COVID. I started it basically. And oh gosh, the name of it is 100 leads in 5 days, and which is like a very big promise, but it's something that I know that I can show people how to do if they, follow, I guess, my guidance. And basically, it's possible to get that many leads in that short of a period of time. In fact, I do it generally in a matter of a day. I make a post and I'll get that many leads, which is crazy. Like, I know, that's crazy. Like, when you start getting those type of responses, it's overwhelming and it can be kind of intimidating, but it's also so exciting and so exhilarating.
Yeah.
And so basically I started teaching agents how to look at their marketing differently, because we're taught in real estate that you need to go and you have to be aggressive and you
Mhm.
have to go and you have to chase people and you need to cold call and you need to door knock and you need to do these things that don't feel natural and just get like they bring on rejection, and I have never been good with rejection. So like this is not my zone of genius, like being rejected and like pulling myself back together. Like, no, that's not happening here. So
Mm.
I realized that I had to figure out a different way to do these things. And basically that's what I teach agents, is how they can attract leads to them and how they don't have to chase them anymore. Like that there is a way to do it without feeling like a pushy, gross salesman.
Yeah. I love that you talk about this because, like, I have a house and I often, we bought this house, we used a real estate agent. My parents have used her, kind of forever. They were our next door neighbors at one point, but I often get messages, especially after my daughter was born, Arabella. She's 3 now. And then when I was pregnant again after that with the baby that we lost, I was getting real estate agents that were following me on Facebook, DMing me, being like, you probably need a bigger house, eh? Since your
Right?
family's getting so big. Like, no, we have 5 bedrooms, but thank you. But I just always thought it was so weird. Like, you're just watching me online. You know that I'm having kids. And I mean, it's amazing that they're paying attention to me, but it was also like way out of the blue. And you're just kind of like, you feel a little pressure sometimes. Like, maybe I should sell my house. Like,
Right. Like why are they reaching out to me? They must know something I don't know, right? Maybe I could make $1 million on my house. Like maybe someone's trying to move into the neighborhood. Who knows?
yes, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so you help people, you help real estate agents, not just general people, real estate agents get 100 leads in 5 days in this challenge. That's amazing. How did you come up with the process for this 5 day challenge?
Oh gosh. Okay. So it this is kind of funny because my broker, when I got started, she taught me how to write a contract, and basically she sat me down with a phone book and she told me to get started. And I like my jaw dropped, like I was terrified. I was kind of like, what the heck do you mean? Like, wait, what? Like, I don't know what I thought real estate agents did to get clients, but it definitely was not picking up a phone book. Like, no. And so I, I had had a stalker. So getting into real estate was really hard and putting myself out there was really hard. But when I started to realize that like the only way I was going to be successful in real estate was to put myself out there. And like, it took a lot of mindset work just because of the stalker thing, um, to put myself out there. And it was kind of like, I was afraid to reach out to people. I was afraid to be pushy. I was afraid to do all of these different things, and it didn't feel good to me.
Hmm.
And so in about 2005, I started to realize that if I put information out there and I said things like, hey, investors, do you want a free list of foreclosures or something like that? Like people would reach out to me and say, oh, I want that. And so it started really quickly. I mean, it didn't take me long before I was like, oh shit, people want what I'm offering and they're going to come to me instead. Like,
Wow.
I don't have to go chase them. And that just, I mean, it blew my mind, but it changed everything. And it took a while because I was doing it in the newspapers and like the little thrifty nickel things that they would put out every week, and I would get people and I would make sales and I would do all this. But it took me a little while to combine Facebook and social media and those methods. Like I overthink everything. And so my mind was very like one track, this is how you do it.
Mhm.
And so when I finally combined the two and I realized, holy shit, like this is way better than what I've been doing. It was just incredible. And then it was just like, okay, let's break this down. And that's when you stepped in and you helped me like, okay, here are the steps. Like, let's put it together. Let's make this happen. And honestly, like it came together so easily, once I got over my crap, because I really had some hangups on how I was going to do this and everything. And so basically getting this process and just kind of walking through it and breaking it down, it just became very easy. It just became very easy. And so now like teaching people this, it just makes sense. And the way that I go through it makes sense. And it's so fun. I don't know. It's so fun because these people, they don't understand, like they get started and they don't quite get why we're talking to one specific person. Like I want buyers and sellers both. Why am I talking to just one person? And as they start to like understand it, they just start to kind of explode like, oh my gosh, okay, now I'm going to do this and now I'm going to do that. And it's so exciting to watch.
I think this is so exciting because I've been in like this entrepreneurial space as a business coach for a couple of years now, and I don't know anyone that's doing what you're doing for real estate agents. Like
I was
I've
going
seen other people say, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent coach." And I'm just like, "Not like Cori." Like you could probably learn a thing or two from Cori and this challenge that she's made, because every time you host this 5-day challenge, which is free by the way, you get hundreds of people flocking to you to grab it and to learn more from you.
exactly. The biggest stat, like I am still so proud of this. In February, I like, okay, this year I was all about like, I am making a calendar. I am doing my not launches, my challenges. I am doing this. And January, I had a lot of people, but February was like, I was really keeping track and I was like, okay, I am all about my numbers. I had 671 people join my community in 23 days. 671 people. Like I was sitting there going like, "Oh my gosh, yay!" and so excited and then terrified all at the same time. It was great.
I love that. That is insane. But that's because together we've really honed in on like your zone of genius when it comes to real estate, and it's a there's a hole in the market here, and that's
Yeah,
why you're getting such huge results, is because yeah, lots of people try out real estate. I considered trying out real estate at one point in my life. Like, I was like, oh,
it'd
I'm
be
gonna write
great.
this test, I'm gonna sell houses, it's gonna be amazing. And yeah, you're filling a huge hole, and you single-handedly are going to have so much to do with changing that 87%.
That honestly, that was my goal. Like when I heard that number, I was just like, I have to do something about that. I just can't sit back and watch that happen. And, it really kind of broke my heart because I started talking to so many agents and all I heard was, my broker's not supporting me. I'm not getting the training I was promised. I thought I would be getting more training or more specific training. And like, they're not teaching me the things I need to be successful. And hearing that, I mean, I know that, like I give way too much a lot of times, and my heart is big and it's like I just want to help everyone and I want everyone to succeed. And so, I started kind of giving too much, but offering these strategy calls and talking to these people and all of these agents, just their story was so similar. It was like, they were promised something, or they thought they were going to get something, and just there was just such a disconnect between what they thought they were getting and what they were actually getting. And I started to feel like, if I could just be a second broker to them, like if I could just be there and be that person for them, I could help them. And I struggle with patting myself on the back, but I'm not going to lie. I feel pretty good that I have definitely helped different agents just figure this out and be able to move forward and succeed in their businesses. And some of my clients, they're growing groups, and they've gone and kind of niched down, and they're growing groups, and they're getting engagement, and they're getting like clients, and it's so exciting. And I can't help but feel like a proud mom or something, right? Like, because I have these little baby agents, right, who are just like getting started, and they're like succeeding, and I love it.
I think it's really important to know something here too, because Cori is a coach for real estate agents, but she still has her brokerage. Something really interesting that continues to happen to Cori is every time she gets on a strategy call with an agent who's looking for help, instead of signing up as a client, she ends up getting them as an agent at her firm. How many people have you brought onto your firm in the last like 12, 14 months since we started working together?
I have brought on now 3 people. It's 3 that have signed and are in the office. There were new agents who were like, okay, I want to get started, and I still have them in the works training. But there are 3 agents that have come to my office through my coaching that are just like, okay, I'm in. Like, let's do this. I want to work with you. And I have you bringing this up kind of is like, okay, Cori, put this in your gratitude journal, like another accomplishment, because there are so many agents who tell me when I talk to them that they wish they were in my market so they could work with me. And honestly, I have not given myself enough credit for that, because quite frankly, like, that's huge when other people are like, no, Cori, or I wish you were in my area, like those kinds of comments they're pretty big, I mean, people want, damn, Brittany, I'm not crying today. Like, people want what I have, and
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
And that's why it's so amazing that you're a coach for real estate agents, for those ones that aren't in your like local vicinity to go, okay, I just want to work like directly with you, not even as a client, as an agent. Like I just need all of you all the time. And obviously you make way more money on the commissions as the broker than if they were hiring you as a client, but also you can offer that support to those who are not in your area. They can still get you.
Exactly, exactly. And they can still learn all the things, and they can still have me, because I feel committed to my clients the way I feel committed to my agents,
Mm-hmm.
so they get me the same way my agents get me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little less, like I'm not giving them my phone number so they can call me at midnight when they have a problem with the deal, but they can get me still.
Exactly. Oh, this is so, so good. I love this.
So I have to tell you though, there is like this thing as I was going through my numbers, and I know we've talked about my numbers, but like the year before COVID, in my real estate company, I made $120,000.
2019.
2019.
Okay.
So I made $120,000, and that was commission income, for the whole office. And I had my own stuff going on, so I was kind of just behind the scenes doing stuff. Last year, because of coaching, because of working with you, because of bringing in new agents that I wouldn't have brought in had I not been coaching, I made, it was 150% increase. When I did the math yesterday, it was 150% increase in 2020 over 2019. Like, that is ridiculous, Brittany.
What's the number? What's the dollar amount?
300,000. So, yeah,
$300,000.
exactly. And that was, I, I beat some franchises, which I never expected to beat any franchises. Like, I'm a small mom and pop type shop.
Yeah.
I am not a franchise. I am just little old me doing my thing. And quite frankly, like, seeing that kind of an increase and knowing that it came specifically from coaching. I mean, because if I wasn't offering these coaching services, these agents would not have come to my office.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's incredible. Like, I love it, and I'm so grateful.
I love this. This is amazing.
Yes.
Wow. I'm glad you said the number because I was like, I can't do this math right now.
Right. No, I had to do the math because I was like, okay, I need to know what exactly is going on here.
Yeah,
I need the
that's
exact
amazing.
number.
And so what are you on target for 2021? If you would make a guess based on the first quarter?
Well, when I was looking, we are actually that okay, yeah, no, they sent out the numbers yesterday. So
Oh,
we are a little over 2 million so far in, like, total sales. So I have not figured out what that is commission wise,
yep.
but honestly, I think we're probably on target to be about where we were last year. I'm bringing on some brand new agents, and that is,
More agents.
yeah, more agents. It's more, it's more like the experienced agents bring a lot more deals, but through training and all of that, I know that these agents are going to just explode. It'll just be a matter of time.
I love this.
Yes.
Okay, so tell everybody why real estate coaching is so important to you.
I care.
You
I
do.
care. And there is just no way to, I does that sound bad? Like, there's no way to explain it really. It's like, I can't watch people fail. Like, I just can't, I can't sit back and see them struggle and not help them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just breaks my heart. Like, I feel very much like, first of all, like I'm saying, like, a whole lot, but
Okay, everybody has been.
um, it's just, it's so fulfilling to see them succeeding. And just, I mean, even when my clients call me and say, I got a new lead, it's like, woohoo, it's a party. It's just so exciting. And I guess a little bit like, I love that excitement. I love watching them win. And that is addictive, like, really addictive. And you almost just can't stop once you start, right? Like, you just want more.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's talk about this $300,000 journey.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about before we started working together. What was going on in your business? What were you thinking and feeling before we even started?
Well, here's the thing. Before we got started, I was sort of just weighing the option of coaching again. Like, I talked to you, I had a dead group. I, was not, like, I just had nothing. I was starting from scratch. When I started working with you, my intention was to build a coaching business, not to increase my real estate business. It had nothing to do with that. And so when shit started hitting the fan and like real estate started taking off too, it was like, holy crap, what do I do now? And so when I got started with you, I really was like so singularly focused that even to this day, I still have a little bit of a hard time, as you know, like with having two different focuses, because real estate for me is exciting and, I love helping people, but there is just something a little different about the coaching aspect. And so when I got started, it was just so much. I'm focused on coaching. I'm doing the coaching. This is what I'm doing. Nothing else. Blinders on. I'm going. And it wasn't until I started seeing the numbers that I was like, holy crap, look what's happening over there. And I'm not even trying. like, you know, um, so I kind of got off track a little bit. I forgot your question, but
All good.
it's great, right?
Totally perfect.
um Basically, from the time we started working together, when I was looking at my numbers, I got 1,964 new members in the time that we've been working together in my groups. And like building a community and having those eyes on you is it's great for business, right? It's great for business, but it's also great for changing lives.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you put something out, every time I go through something and I put my emotions out there and I tell people like, okay, you've got this, you can do it, you can push through it, whatever. The responses I get and the people telling me like, okay, Cori, I needed this. You just know how to like be right there in my head, whatever, like, and pull me out of it. That is so freaking powerful, and it makes everything, it just makes me want to keep going and keep helping people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, tell everybody what you had tried before we started working together.
Oh gosh. I I had done programs, I had worked with other coaches. I had spent so much money and so much time and so much effort, and you know, it just none of it worked for me because it wasn't me. Like they were giving me their words, they were telling me their things, but none of it was me. It wasn't the way I here's the thing. Okay, so with real estate, I am teaching people to not chase people, right? Like I'm teaching them how to be organically bringing people in.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches were teaching me the opposite. like
Right.
and it didn't feel good and it didn't align with me, and it wasn't until probably right this very second that I realized that that's where the disconnect was. Like they were telling me to do things that I'm sitting here saying no, like please don't. like and so here they're telling me do all these things and chase the people and be pushy and do this and do that, and I'm like so resistant to that because I hate when people are pushy and trying to DM me and cold DM me and all these things. So quite frankly, it was just a no. Like it was a no. It just didn't work. And so when I found you and like I remember our strategy call together, and
So do I.
like I just remember like you calling me out on my shit, and I was like, okay, it's money. I don't know. I have to talk to my husband and whatever. And you were like, what's he going to say? Like, does he support you? Are you going to do this if he says no? And I'm like going, okay, fine, whatever. Like, yes, like I'm in. And you just called me out on my shit. And it was like, okay, I can't make an excuse with you. Like there's no excuses. You know what I'm doing, and you know like when I'm in my head. And those other coaches, they didn't know me. They didn't like understand me. And that's something that I love so much about you. You're like, you're not going to put up with my shit. You're not going to let me like, I love to hide. You know, when I get scared, I hide. And so you're not going to let me hide. You're like, no, you need to do X, Y, and Z, get your ass up and go. Like basically. And I love that about you. And it's been exactly what I've needed throughout this journey, you know, that we've gone on together. You are exactly what I've needed, because your energy and your passion and your caring, it's like you can't, like, I can't disappoint you. Like I need you to be proud of me. I need to see you like, yes, Cori, that's a good job. Like I need that Brittany love.
Yes. I also remember our strategy call. I will say that, yes, I think everyone that I've interviewed has said you give the tough love, like you don't just like let us bullshit all over the place, because it's important to me that you guys get results.
Exactly.
And if I'm being passive cheerleader and everything that you do is great, then you wouldn't have made $300,000 last year. And I think it's important to note, Corey and I have been working together one on one for over a year now. Like we have been in this for the long haul.
Yep.
But I remember hanging up from our call and being like, oh, yeah, I pissed her off. I pushed her too hard, I think. And now here we are.
Exactly. It was so the opposite. It was exactly what I needed. And honestly, like you kind of showed me that it's okay to be like that. And I look at you and I go, okay, it's hard for me still. I'm not going to lie. I still struggle with it, but I try to say, what would Brittany do? Or what would Brittany say? What would Brittany tell me in this situation? You know? And that kind of pulls me back out of it a little bit and is like, okay. And if I ever question what would Brittany say, all I have to do is message you and you'll tell me right away to like get my shit together. And like, not exactly like that, but basically.
Yeah, that's not helpful. That's not helpful advice, but
No, no, no. You know what I mean
I
though.
do. Okay, so let's go back to that call. What hesitancies were you facing when you were making the decision to hire me or not?
For me, I'm not gonna lie, it was money, and it was mindset. Like it was, when it came to money, I had invested with other coaches. I was spending more than what you were asking, you know, and all I could think is this feels different, you know, and it was so it was so hard for me because I didn't trust me, and I didn't trust that I could do it. And so like I believed in you, but I wasn't sure I believed in me.
Mm.
And it I leaned on you for your belief for quite a while. And sometimes I still do, because I can't lie. I still get in my head a lot. And you know, and we work through that all the time. But you know, it was really a fear of, what if I can't do this? Or what if, not gonna lie again, what if I let her down? Like, what if I go into this and I let myself down? Like, what happens then? And it was kind of just a realization that I couldn't just sit there and be scared. I either had to do it or get over it and like forget it. And not that you told me that, but it was something that I realized, you know. And so just kind of coming to that realization that if I was going to be serious about this, I knew I needed support and I couldn't do it on my own. And I couldn't be more happy about that decision that I made. And honestly, had you let me off the hook, I probably would have like wanted to hire you, but sat there and made excuses and all of these things and like gone round and round and round and round with myself. And probably I never would have hired you. Like if you hadn't called me to the carpet and been like, look, what's really going on here? And I am so grateful for that. And as I say that, it makes me realize that some of my bullshit that I'm still pulling, like, yeah, I can see it now, Brittany. So thanks for that.
No problem. We're going to coach even on the interview.
Exactly, exactly.
What objections did you have to overcome when it came to investing in yourself?
Really, I feel like I have some money PTSD. So like when it comes to money, I hold on tight.
Yeah.
And I get really nervous about spending. And so I really had to kind of I had to realize that I was worth it. And there were some things. I mean, my husband was not completely on board. He was not about me spending the money. And so there were some things that I really had to kind of work through, and some belief in myself that I had to build in order to make that decision. And if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you, I don't know that I could have gotten to making that decision on my own.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that, those feelings and the husband and everything like that, because obviously you were a yes. And for a lot of people, I think that they think, well, I'm going to say yes, and then everything is hunky dory. When maybe that's not always the case. Sometimes when you say yes, then it's kind of like, oh, shit.
Right, right.
Now I got to give her money. Now I got to like show up and I got to do the work and I got to have this big conversation over here. What were your thoughts and feelings after you said, yes, let's go?
To be honest, once I made the decision to say yes, it was like, duh, like, let's go. I, I had joined your Facebook 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 group masterclass. And in going through that, like it showed me instantly like where I could make tweaks and how I could do things differently. And it showed me how to start moving. So even before I hired you, you had showed me how to start making progress, how to start going. And so I don't think that I had any, I mean, I was scared, and all of that, but I was not the way I would normally be, like all completely in my head and all of that. It wasn't until I had to have the big discussion with my husband that then I started going, oh crap, like now what have I done? All of that, like, and that was a struggle because that was like, I doubt myself so many times that, having my husband question, how are you spending that money every month? What is this going to do? Why aren't you focusing on your real estate business? Like all of these things. It was a really tough conversation to have. And the biggest part of it was to make my husband believe in me. Like, and that sounds kind of wrong, but I mean, he believed in me, but he believed in me in real estate. He believed in me, in different areas, not as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really hard to show him or to make him understand that this is something different, but this is something that like investing in myself is a good thing. And that's challenging. Like that's hard because for me, I'm not one to pat myself on the back. I'm not one to like cheer myself on in any kind of way. And so like sitting there and trying to explain to him that this is something I wanted for me or to make me better, to do anything for me was so hard because I am not a I choose me person. Like
Right.
I choose everyone else and then maybe I'll look at me. So yeah.
I think that that's really awesome that you just shared that, because I think a lot of women have those same fears and those same conversations with their husbands. And, like I said earlier, we've been together for a long time. Oftentimes, it's the husbands trying to show love by trying to protect us from getting hurt. And
Exactly.
so sometimes the husband objection is, "Oh, I'm just scared for you. I'm scared you're
Right.
going to get hurt. I'm scared you're going to get your feelings hurt. I'm scared you're going to fail publicly. Like, I'm scared for you. Let's not do this." And
Right.
so not only did you have to overcome your own objections and investing in yourself, but then you had to turn around and combat his objections in you investing in yourself. And I think that that's so great that you just shared that, because so many women can probably relate to that exact circumstance.
And I see it in coaching other real estate agents too, you know. They want to invest, but they can't see that, like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, you know, move forward? Can I do this? All of those things. And so it's very powerful when you do start to it feels like stand up for yourself, but that's not the right word, but you get the gist of what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. When you kind of choose you and choose to be the person that you want to be, you know, and I think that in business, we're so like we're used to doing all the things, you know, we do all the things that everyone tells us we need to be doing. And in business, when you go into business for yourself, it's so hard to kind of find that path. Like, what is it I should actually be doing?
Mhm.
And so many other people have opinions on what we should be doing that it's really hard to kind of find that path that actually leads to where we're trying to go, because
Right.
there's so many outside opinions. And so you have to really dig in deep and try to figure out what it is that you want and what you really are trying to achieve, and then decide whose opinion really matters.
I
And
love that.
I know, right? Look at me. Like, this is big, right?
Yeah.
Because I struggle with that. Like, everyone's opinion matters in my book.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely something that it's a lesson I've been learning, you know, and I hope that it helps other women to just know that it's okay to choose you. It's okay to commit to yourself and your dreams. And it's okay if your husband isn't sure that you can do this. Like, just because they're not completely behind you doesn't mean that you can't do this.
Mhm. So good. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
It's an important message.
I would agree with
Tell me what has surprised you most about my process as your coach.
that. I think that honestly, that it's all in me. Like, that I'm the one with the answers. Yes, you guide me and you give me great advice, but ultimately you put it on me to make the decisions. And that's surprised me, you know, because I had so many coaches before telling me, like, this is what you do, this is what
Mhm.
you say, this is how you should price it, like all of these things. So working with you and having you like, okay, Cori, so what do you want to price it at? Okay, what do you want to do here? Like, okay, it's like Cori, did you realize you're the business owner? Like, Brittany's making sure you know that. Like, you're the business owner. You're the one who's making these decisions. And that's important. And it's something that, I mean, it's empowering, really, is that would be the word. You empowered me to realize that I'm the boss bitch and I'm in charge.
I love it. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Okay, tell me why you are glad that we work together.
Besides the fact that I completely love you.
Besides
Like,
that.
besides that, you have shown me more about me. Like, on our journey, we have had conversations about sex, about like everything under the sun, it feels like. I mean, body parts and all of these things. Like, we've talked about marriage, and it has not been just all business, but you when there's something else going on, like, that it's going to affect your business. And like, working with you is just, it shows me that it's okay to fix the other things. It's not just about business. Like, you can get to business, you can get through business, you can do your business, but you have to work on the things that are impacting you at home, in your mind, in your body. And if I hadn't chosen to work with you, I feel like I would just be stuck, still trying to figure out what on earth I'm trying to do with my life. And again, I have completely forgotten what your question was, but
I asked you why you're glad we work together.
yes. Oh my goodness gracious. But okay, so I am on the right track then. It is,
You're
it is
fine.
all of those things. It is the friendship that I feel, has been created. There is such a connection there for me. And, it's just like, I trust you so completely. And I know that you would not give me bad advice, and having someone there who understands business and understands husbands and understands drama, like, you get it. And there's nothing that there's, I mean, and I've come to you with some crazy shit, like,
Everybody
and
has.
and so, like, knowing that there's not an off limits topic, like, if something is bothering me, you've encouraged me to write a book, like, you've encouraged me to do things that had nothing to do with business. And you're a business and mindset coach, right? Like, we talk business and mindset and that's all, and blah, 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 right? No, that's just not it at all. It's everything under the sun, because everything under the sun affects our business. And you don't just leave me hanging. Like, I've never felt like I'm just waiting for a response. I mean, unless of course you go to bed at like midnight and I'm waiting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Like, you shouldn't go to sleep when I'm trying to message you. I don't know. Just teasing. But working with you is just, it's my favorite thing. Like, it makes me happy every week when I know I'm going to get on the phone with you. It is everything. It's like having a best friend in business, who you can like talk to, and they're not going to judge you, and they're not going to be like, we're talking business again. Why do I care that you signed another client? Like, I just was at my girlfriend's house the other day, and she's like, first of all, she's like, bitch, you overthink too much. And I'm like, damn, okay, yes, I get that. And then we're talking about business and she's just like blah, like there's just nothing going on there. And I'm like, okay, fine. This is not where I'm going to get this conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And so I know that I overthink things and you always rein me in and you always like calm it down, like just we're going to get through this. And I just I can't say enough good things about you because I just love you and you have done so much for me, with me, to help me.
Well, I love you too.
Well, thank you. I love you too.
Tell me why it's already paid off for you, the investment that you continue to make in yourself with me.
Okay, without crying.
It's
there
all right
is
if you cry.
well, no, because I put on makeup. So there is it is very hard for me to invest in me. It is very hard for me to value myself, find my self-worth, like all of these things. So investing in myself, this was really, really hard. And it like, yes, the numbers, of course, like I made $300,000 last year in commissions, right? Like, woohoo, those are big things, but that's not everything for me. Like the numbers are exciting, but it's everything else, you know, it's the support, it's all of those things that I, I mean, I'm like, the money doesn't matter. And that sounds so weird, like as a business owner or having several businesses, like that is the weirdest thing to say. The money doesn't matter. It's like the mindset. It's the belief in myself and the confidence that you've helped me find. That is what matters here. You know, I have struggled so much with my own mindset and my own things because of trauma and whatever else. So having someone there to support me and understand what I'm going through and to say like, okay, Cori, you had 65 strategy calls. You booked, you know, that many calls. Like when I'm excited about something or I'm down about something and you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, look at what you've done. It's like, oh, yes, look at little old me. Look at what I've done. Like someone sitting there and showing me, you know, and like, I hate to say this, it makes me feel like a little bit of a dork, but having someone show me and point out to me, like, these are your results. Like, stop getting in your head. That the mindset piece, I think, is the biggest part for me
Yeah.
because the money comes and goes, you know, it's just not important in my world. It's important, but it's not like the only thing. The mindset stuff and all of the belief in myself, that is the thing that is just invaluable, you know. It is everything.
Let's talk about that for a second. I'm curious what, and I already know, everyone else is curious. What challenges have you overcome since we started working together?
Well, okay, so there is a serious lack of belief in myself. There are some serious issues with like self-worth and what, like being concerned about what other people think of me. And you have shown me that like first of all, that all of these people that I'm working with, like you point out to me and you show me that they all, like, they want this, they need this, and you make me see that when I doubt myself. And it's like, when I first started, I was so low. I was so not sure of myself. And I doubted everything. Like, I had a dead group. Should I just kill it, start a new one, all these things. And you showed me that it doesn't matter. Like, get out of your head, basically. It doesn't matter. Other people are not thinking of you the way you're thinking they're thinking of you. And so, really just kind of overcoming some of these things where I have had such low confidence levels in myself, and just starting to believe in myself, that that is so powerful, because it's just not, I don't know, it's like a thing, it's in your head, and you have to overcome the shit that's in your head to get to where you're trying to go. And if you are someone who is like struggling with anything like self-doubt, self-worth issues, any of those things, and then you're trying to build a business, like, that is a serious struggle. It's a serious issue of not quite knowing what you're doing, or how to get others to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And so, working with you has shown me that, like, I have to believe in myself in order to make others believe in me. And it's really, I mean, it's changed things for me. Like, there was a point a few months ago where, like, sassy Cori came out, and I was like, oh, holy shit, I haven't seen her in probably 15 years. Like, what the heck, and I mean, she kind of did go back into hiding a little bit, but it was so incredible, like, when she came out, and it was like, okay, and I'm working on getting her back, and you're helping me with that. But just knowing that I can do this, and I don't need permission. And quite frankly, even when I do need permission, you give me that permission to do the thing that I'm scared to do. So it's it's just, I don't know, it's incredible, because it's so hard to explain the mindset stuff and like how different it is, but it's just so different from where I was to where I am now. The gap is like, I mean, it's just amazing.
I would definitely say that you are a completely different person than that very first strategy call where you were very shy, and I thought to myself, "Oh no." I pushed on her way harder than she could handle. Definitely am not gonna sign this girl as a client, and now you are this, like, fiery, passionate powerhouse woman who's literally impacted thousands of lives since we started, like 600 people in 23 days, 600 plus people in 23 days. But you run this
671, just to be exact.
almost 700 people in 3 weeks. But you
Exactly.
do this all the time, and those are the kinds of numbers that you're pulling all the time. That's thousands of people. Cori, when we first started, like, if if you knew back then what we were going to accomplish together, I like, what a
I'd still
ride you
be
were in
hiding.
for.
I'd still be hiding. I'd be like, oh my God, that just like signing up this office of 13 agents, right? Like, oh my gosh, this new client comes along, and I'm scared shitless, like, oh my God, Brittany, what am I gonna do? And Brittany's like, what do you mean? Like,
Yes.
let's do this. So it's, I would have been terrified had I realized what would happen in a year's time. I would have been terrified. And I'm so thankful, because if it wasn't for you, I just, I don't believe that I would be where I am. I don't believe that I would have the results that I have. And I definitely would not have the confidence that I have now, because I would still be hiding. I would still be under a rock somewhere, like waiting for someone to help me, I guess. I don't know.
I love it. And just for those that are listening and watching and you're like, "Wait, what's going on with this 13 people thing?"
Oh,
So,
yes.
Cori, I'll just like very quick backstory. Cori was approached by another broker asking her to coach her entire team of 13 people. And so that's currently being ironed out so that she can coach that entire office. And that's not something I don't think either of us really expected to happen in such a short amount of time. But here you are taking on these people, and other offices are like, look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing in your own office. Look at what you're doing for random agents spread out all over the country who aren't getting the support that they need. Help.
And, I actually talked with the gal this morning, and I was just blown away. She was saying, I've been watching you. I've been seeing what you've been doing. I've been seeing how you've been helping other people. And I want that for my agents. I want them to have these quick wins. I want them to succeed. And I was like, damn, like, look at me.
Yes, look at you. That's amazing. Okay, so tell everyone how your results, not only the monetary, but the mindset that we're talking about, these huge shifts, how have they impacted your life and your business?
All right. So in my life, like, I have I have like this terrible thing that I put myself through, where I am like beating up on myself and overthinking and all of these things. And basically, Brittany has shown me how to calm it all down. She's shown me how to self coach, how to turn my thoughts around when I am completely going off the deep end. Like, she's told me, like, okay, here's what you do, here's how to handle it, here's how to do it for yourself. And that that has changed so many things in my business. It has changed. I mean, honestly, like, even from Monday to today, like Monday, I was completely freaked out about talking to this gal with her 13 agents. Today, I had the conversation, and I was fine. Like, I was completely in control and just like in charge of this meeting. And Monday, had I had that call before my call with Brittany, I would have probably said, would you like to join and all of your agents for free? No, not quite, but you know what I mean. Like, I would have been like, you tell me what you would like me to do, and let me help you. And it's there's just a different level of confidence. And, talking to you once a week is like, I get everything that I need to continue on doing the things I know I need to be doing. And, in my personal life, like, I've had so many ups and downs, and having this confidence, it's kind of it's it's like I don't have to hide. The hiding has been so prevalent in my life for so many years that the confidence is just like, I okay, if we're going to be really, really super honest, I was what's it diagnosed as an agoraphobic. So in the last year, like, I've gone from super, super hiding, never going to the grocery store by myself, like nothing. I wouldn't drive, like, my husband would drive me everywhere. I am now driving. I am going to the grocery store by myself. I am like going and taking pictures of houses by myself, which never, like, in 19 years, never do I do that. And so I don't know if that says anything. Like that's that's like a lot, because that whole stalker thing I mentioned in the beginning, it really fucked me up. And
Oh,
so the confidence that I'm getting now, like for 19 years I've been hiding, and now to be able to go to the store, like that that by itself is huge, and that's, I mean, that has nothing to do with business, right? Like that's not why I hired you. I didn't hire you to get me into the grocery store. Thanks a lot, Brittany. No, just kidding. But it's powerful. Like it is completely and totally life changing, because I was stuck, and I was really stuck, and I was hiding behind my computer screen while helping people, but that's changed now. Like I'm not hiding behind my computer screen. I'm actually selling real estate again. Like I was hiding, and that meant from business, that meant from everything. And it's it's changed. I mean so much that it's just mind blowing. That's the word. It's mind blowing.
yeah. I love this so much. I'm
I'm gonna have
so
to.
glad you came on.
Yes, me too. And that's the other thing. Like, okay, confidence. I was terrified of this, like this interview. I was terrified to come and do this too. So, like, confidence. Yes, we've got this now.
We got this now. Okay. What would you say to someone who's currently thinking about hiring me to help them with their business and their mindset?
Okay, well, first of all, if you've listened to any of this, like, you need to hire Brittany. Like, I don't know where you are in your life or your business, but if you're serious about making a change in your life, if you're serious about making a change in your business, you need Brittany in your life. Brittany cares. And it's not like I have your money and I care. It's like I care about your business. I care about you as a person. And she's so invested in me that it's not, I never feel alone anymore, which is something that through depression and everything else, like alone is where I've been living, even though I live in a house of 5 people. Like business can be very lonely, and feeling alone sucks. And you'll never, ever, ever feel that way working with Brittany. It's so empowering to have someone on your side who understands and cares, and quite frankly isn't going to put up with your shit when you make excuses and try to hide. Like it's Brittany is amazing. And I just hope that if you're considering working with her, if you're considering the audience incubator, if you're considering one-on-one, like stop considering and just do it. If you need anything, like if you need to ask questions of someone who's going through Brittany's program, if you need anything from an outside source, I would be more than happy to answer your questions, or, do anything I can to make you see that Brittany is the person you need. Because that is 100% how I feel, 1,000% how I feel.
You are such a rock star. Like, you're so amazing. Do you have any other pearls of wisdom or anything else you would like to share?
You know, the one thing that I want to say is that in your business, if you're chasing people, if you feel like you're an icky salesman, if you ever like, oh my God, I've been ghosted and like, I don't know why they're not getting back to me, like, you're probably chasing them. You're not doing things in an organic way. You're not being like authentic, and people can feel that, and people don't want to be chased. If you're struggling with getting customers and you feel like it's a getting customers kind of thing, you're probably going to keep struggling. And you need to be talking to Brittany. You need to be talking to someone who understands organic marketing and can help you attract leads to you, because it's not challenging to attract leads to you, but it is definitely a different mindset. And you definitely have to like ditch the, okay, I need leads. I need leads. Like you have to be in the mindset of, I want to help people. And that's what we're here for.
Okay. For all of the real estate agents, budding real estate agents, brokers that may, well, they definitely need your help. How can they find you, Cori?
Okay, this is the one thing that I didn't prepare for, actually. How did I not do this? I don't know, but I have a group. It is lead generation and business building strategies for real estate agents and brokers. And I'll put the link down in the description. And I would love it if you would come and join my group and see how I can help you. And I'm always here to answer questions and probably give you way more information that you ever thought you needed.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last hour and 15 minutes and sharing your story with everybody.
Well, I am so appreciative, because honestly, I thought half an hour. Like, we'll be on here for half an hour. There's no way I can talk that much. But how did I think that, really? Like,
I
you
don't
know
know.
me.
I have like 15 questions, so I'm partially to blame here. I know that. And I egg you guys on. Like,
Yes.
I definitely come in here ready to riff. So
I love it. It's so amazing. This has been
thank
the most
you.
fun.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining, catching this live in the group, catching this on the YouTube, catching this on the podcast. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out and listening. Cori's going to share all of her information in the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you all next week for the last week of interviews. Have a
Yes.
great day, you guys. Bye. Awesome.